Hey everyone. So I am in my back garden right now, just chilling on a lawn chair with my feet grounded on the beautiful, beautiful grass, and the weather is impeccable and life is great. I wanted to share once again another longer video, and the reason I wanted to share this video was because I was inspired by, a conversation that I had with my friend. Shout out to you, Georgie, about inner child healing and sort of how it can make sense in our lives and what it is and how to apply it. And this was also off the back of a few other conversations I've been having with people. So there are very few things that I can say have really been a massive part of allowing me to be living life on purpose, living life with joy, peace, love, and reconnecting and loving this little child that lives inside me. His name's LJ. Has been such a massive part of that. And so I wanted to share with you how it can be, what it looks like, kind of making it seem a little less confusing, and also how to apply it in your life. So I'm going to share a story that came up about half an hour ago. I was doing some journaling, and this journaling was around what my past was like. And I say my past, but I see it more as my inner child's experience, and I'm quite distant from it in the sense that a parent would say, my child grew up in this experience, and my child grew up in this household, and they went to this school. The parent wouldn't say, yeah, I went to that school. And that seems very understandable. But I want to also create this distinction in my life with my inner child. I didn't go to those places. It was a past me. It was LJ who experienced doing those things. And one of the reasons I really like to create that distinction for myself is because the emotions that were experienced, and a lot of times with traumatic or challenging childhood memories or experiences, emotions get trapped and they get held onto and they get repressed in those places. And so it's almost as if that memory has been captured, a snapshot of it has been taken, and it's been solidified and almost turned into a picture, like an piece of art, and it's been framed up, and every day it's looked at over and over, and it's reminding LJ, reminding my inner child to feel a certain way. And then this comes up as a reminder to me, which feels separate, to live that fear. Now, if that's all confusing, please ask questions, because it can be a little confusing at first. So to better explain this, I had this journaling experience of writing down what was some of the things that were coming up that were that made me feel like made LJ feel as if he was lacking in worth or scared. One of the ones came up was of a time when he was sitting on a bus, and my brother had gone to see one of his friends, and so I went on the bus alone, and the bus was 444 or 414. I can't remember. It was one of those, 411. Yeah, it's funny how you remember these things. But LJ ended up going on that bus alone, and bus took off, and normally 15 minutes in, that's my stop. 15 minutes comes, and the bus driver calls it a stop, and I kind of put my hand up and say, that's me. And because I was a little short, I was about 7 or 8 at the time, he doesn't see me, and he keeps on driving. And at that point, I'm like, gulp. And I remember feeling into this. I remember seeing LJ slinking back into his his seat and just being like, oh my goodness, I don't even exist. Like, what's about to happen? I'm screwed. And feeling into this, and I'd like to show you what I'm feeling right here. I've got my hand on my stomach, and what this is doing is because I'm feeling that experience, reliving that emotion that's being triggered by this memory of what happened to LJ. I'm feeling it right in that place where I'm holding it, right in my gut, and I'm being aware of that. And that's one of the most important things, is just to be aware that as you're going through this experience and you're feeling it, know that, and this is how it relates to me, this is how I feel it, is it's not happening to me. It is something I'm feeling. And it's something that is happening to LJ, and I'm experiencing, and I'm being like the parent in his life, saying, okay, I'm listening to you, I'm here for you, I'm with you. And so the story continued where I was on this bus. We get to the last stop, and I had no idea where I was at this point. Once again, I'll correct myself, because it's I get caught up in it. I try and do my best. LJ was looking around and trying to figure out what was going on, where he was, and he just felt so lost. He felt so lost. And fortunately there were two of these people that were my friend, my brother's friend, and he kind of said, you were meant to get off a few stops before. And I don't know what would have happened if it wasn't for him. The problem would have been solved, but in LJ's mind it was like, oh my goodness, they're my saviors. And all I remember at that moment when he said, when my friend and my brother's friend saw me at the last stop, and all I can remember feeling and seeing from my memory of LJ is he was just crying, and so scared and lost. And after understanding that, and I really want to make sure that I'm saying this in the right way so that it's simple and easy to understand. When I realized that LJ was going through some kind of experience that was really uncomfortable for him, in that moment it's my role, my job as the parent to him to step back and say, whatever I'm doing right now isn't important. Whatever's happening right now, I need to step away from it and be fully and completely present with him. And so what I'll do is I'll say to him, you're safe. I feel you, I hear you, I'm with you right now. What do you need? And a lot of times it's actually feeling safe enough for him to be able to go through that pain, and go through that sadness, and go through that concern, knowing that, one, he won't be judged for whatever he experiences, and two, he is in a safe place to be able to allow these emotions and these feelings to come up that weren't able to surface before. And so going back to the beginning of this video, saying how these emotions get trapped, and now after I'd done that, it was probably about 5-10 minutes that I was just really present with him. Sometimes it's longer, sometimes it's less. After that time, I felt him kind of came to a point of consolidation, being able to, okay, I feel heard, I feel safe, I can calm down now. And then what was important is the self-care afterwards. And I know this sounds quite funny, but afterwards what I did was I jumped on the grass, laid down, I did something that he enjoyed to do, which was just like checking things out, looking at things, being curious. And so I stared at a piece of grass with him, just looking at it. And that was our way of connecting. You know, so much of the time we see a little kid, or we see them crying and they're having a hard time, and after we look after them, we always want to say, okay, now do you want to go play, or do you want to go do something? And they're like, yeah, let's go play. And that's the part afterwards that sometimes we miss out on, is realizing we had just gone through something really rough, or even our inner child has just gone through something rough, we allowed it to come up, and then the self-care afterwards is super important. So just to recap a little bit, there's allowing things to rise up, knowing that you are the parent for your inner child, creating a safe space for them, which for me is usually through loving words and just acts of kindness, whatever that is, whether that be taking space and giving him my full attention, and then finally it's having that after self-care of finding some time to do something that he really enjoys. So if you have any questions, please ask, because some of that may have been a little confusing and or completely new to you. So if you're unsure of any of it, feel free to message or ask for clarification, or if you'd like other tips, please let me know, and hopefully your inner child has heard that and is ready to play with you and bring in all kinds of love and joy. Wishing you a beautiful rest of the day. Peace, peace, peace. Mwah.